tourists would come and they would sell it to the tourists and the tourists would keep moving. But all of a sudden now, since Paul and them, y'all know we don't say them. Since Paul and them have been in the city preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, now all of a sudden the sales of the little gods have dropped because the big God has shown up. And how many of you know when you get the one real big God, you don't need the little phony gods anymore? So now you got this man Demetrius, who is the leader of the union of the silversmith, the chairman of the chamber of commerce, who calls the union of silversmiths together and say, look, we got a problem. They're out here preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, and now we got a problem because our money is going down, and so is the worship of the goddess Diana. We got to deal with this problem. I really like this because what Paul was doing caused trouble and agitation in the city, and it impacted the economy. Here's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that Christianity in America has lost its impact. Are you hearing me? We don't impact the economy like we ought to. Let me tell you something. If you really want to get people's attention, stop messing with their money. They got these folk together because what Paul was doing was threatening their wealth and threatening their worship. It was all about the Benjamins. It was about the money. They were making a lot of money off of these little gods. And now I'm just wondering why the sales at the ABC store doesn't go down when the church is 1 block away from it. I'm just wondering why the sale of crack cocaine and heroin and reefer doesn't go down because the church is in the community. I'm just wondering why the gang enrollment numbers don't go down when there are churches in the community. I'm just wondering why, when we're teaching good stewardship, why the business at the check cashing place and the payday loan place doesn't go down when they're, y'all ain't gonna say. What I'm trying to say is that when we do what we're supposed to do, we ought to have a profound impact on the economy. Can I tell you something, and you promise not to tell anybody else? The devil don't have a problem with us coming in here singing and shouting and dancing and speaking in tongues. The devil doesn't have a problem with us getting dressed up in our cufflinks and getting our perms and coming in looking all nice and fine. Oh, so the devil ain't got no problem with us playing organs and drums and guitars and trumpets and trombones. What he has a problem with is when the gospel gets outside of the four walls of the church and starts impacting his territory and starts getting in his business and starts bringing people out of his camp. That's when he's got a problem. And I just think we ought to stir up some trouble in this city. High five somebody and tell them, let's start something. Come on, turn to somebody and ask them, you want to start something? I think it's time for the children of God to get our swagger back. Y'all ain't gonna talk to me. And go out here and start something. Am I right about it? Everybody else is proud of what they're doing. Why aren't we proud of who we are? Do you understand what I'm saying? I was watching the crazy BET Awards off the chain, just crazy. I said, these folk don't even care. They don't care who they offend. They don't care who they irritate. They don't care whose nerves they get on. They say the words they gonna say, wear big chains with offensive signs around their neck, get on the microphone receiving awards, talking like they're crazy. I still don't know how you give honor to God and that other foolishness, but anyway. But I just think that when we're doing our job, the sales of the rap CDs ought to go down. Oh, go ahead, get mad. I don't care. It's foolishness. And I'm gonna tell you right now, check this out. Young people, don't even come to me with all rap, ain't that, I don't even want to hear it. Thank you very much. Not today. Because a whole lot of that stuff is poison and foolishness, and when you start defending it, you can set yourself up because the devil will use the little positive rap to get in your head for the negative stuff in going to the final point. I'm going to be done. Here's the problem I have, and I know, I did it earlier today. I'm going to do it one more time. It seems like I'm bird walking a little here. But let me help you understand something. Here's the problem there. The problem is in our attempt to win the world, we become so much like him until you can't tell us from him. I've been guilty. Sometimes I wrestle with that whole thing. I'll be honest with you. I wrestle with that whole thing. And now, instead of just being who we are, we got to have a hip-hop gospel to reach a hip-hop generation. No, at some point, you got to just draw the line somewhere. So some stuff we just ain't going to do to get you to believe that we do. I mean, there's some stuff you can't do to get somebody else. White Peter all trying to be him. You know, cornrows in my head, a little bit of hair I can't grow, trying to win. No, I am who I am, and I'm proud of what I represent, and we ought to stand about who we are until other folk want to be like us, and we ain't trying to be like them. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Changed one time when Jesus changed it. I got a book I'm reading called The Chameleon Gospel, where we just, everything we get on, we change to try to blend into it. Then you mess around and watch the Gospel Awards, and you got to sit there for 30 minutes to figure out whether it's the Gospel Awards or the hip-hop, or you don't know what we're watching. Got these young Negroes up there with their hats on and tight jeans on and little bit of clothes on, singing the gospel. They ain't got no Jesus in the songs. Something wrong. Something's wrong with that. You done gave up our Jesus trying to get somebody on our side. No! Keep Jesus in the song and he'll change folk, and don't you worry about it. I gotta move on. I'm about to go over time now. Some of us remember, our parents ain't compromised that. Come on, man, our parents ain't compromised that. No. You're going to sit on down and you're going to be all right. We ain't changing the songs in here. You're going to sit there and listen to these songs just like we sing it. They ain't put no beat to Jesus, keep me near the cross. They ain't put no synthesizer under Amazing Grace. They ain't put no vocoder on, soldiers in the army. No, you gonna get it just like this, baby. Ain't no remix and that all. And you get it just like this. Pure and unadulterated. That's right. Come on, look at somebody and ask them, you heard me? I gotta move on. Listen. We ought to be changing the world changing us. That's what I'm saying, y'all. And we really have to, I know it's difficult because sometimes a great argument is made, and we like to go into scripture where Paul said, I became all things to all men that I might win something. Now, let me tell you what Paul was saying. He was saying he knew how to speak through the culture and the sociological trends and philosophical ideology of each one of those people. That's what he said. He's saying to the Jews, I knew how to deal with the law and the customs of the law, and to the Greeks, I understood Epicureanism and Stoicism so well that I could give them God through their philosophy. He ain't saying I became a rapper to win a rap. Going here because folks say, well, Pastor, what about gospel rap? I ain't got no problem with gospel rap, but just say Jesus. I ain't got no problem with God. I ain't my kind of music, but I ain't mad at you.